tip we are going to look at is a total story problem. Okay, a total story problem actually incorporates some of the ideas we've been talking about. So this should be the one that comes most fluid to us because it's the one that ties into things we've been saying. Okay, if we read a story problem and it is talking about the total, there is a certain format we want to fill in each time. So a local graphic designer is going to charge $25 for creating a t-shirt design. Okay, this is very typical. I order shirts for Animal Club all the time. We get charged a fee for them to create the design that we ask them to make, and then we are charged per shirt that we get. Okay, for each shirt printed, we're going to be charged $12.75. If the math club has a bill totaling $216.25 for t-shirts for its members, how many members purchased a shirt? Okay, so again, just like with all the other story problems we've done, as we start to build our list, it's going to be more important than ever that when we read a story problem, we don't just say, okay, let me start trying something. Don't just try something, decide. What category am I in? Well, this isn't defining a variable because I don't have two unknowns. What am I trying to find? The number of t-shirts, period, one thing. Okay, it's not a pattern because I don't have something increasing by the same amount each time. Okay, but instead in this story problem, we see something that is talking about a total. Anytime we see something that has a bill, that's talking about a total, okay, that is telling us to take everything together. And what does together always tell us to do? Add. Okay, so if we are seeing bill, if we are seeing total, if we are seeing all together, as soon as we read that, we should be writing down on our paper, blank plus blank equals blank. Right? So we read a story problem, we see the word total, we go ding, 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 blank plus blank equals blank. Okay? Because every time we see a total story problem, it follows the same format. So now we're not completely flying in the dark. We've got an idea of what we need to be doing. Okay, the other key thing that I am now going to tell you is that when something is happening per item, it gets the variable. It doesn't get the variable because you circled the unknown, and it doesn't get the variable because you read it very carefully. It gets the variable for a very precise math reason. The math reason is that it is happening per item. Okay, if I'm going to pay $5 per shirt and I purchase 10 shirts, how much am I going to spend? $50 because we took 5 times 10, right? When something is happening per item, we multiply. Okay, you with me so far? So just like we've been doing in any situation, we sort of always want to start out with our unknown and our variable. So what is this problem asking us to find? What are we trying to get in this as an answer?
How many students ordered a shirt?
Right? How many people got a shirt? So we're going to define our variable to be that. So we're going to let, what letter do we want to pick for the students who got shirts? S? Right? So let's let S be our shirts for students. Apparently I just do too many shirt story problems. That's probably how that ended up happening and me leaving the R out. Okay, so we have our variable, and we know that it's a total story problem, so we know we're filling in blank plus blank equals blank. This blank over here on the end after the equal sign is always where we put our total. So in this story problem, what is our total?
$216.25.
Say it again.
$216.25.
16
Yeah.
and 25 cents?
Yeah.
So now we're here. So that takes care of one piece that we filled in. Okay, so now we have 2 more blanks we have to fill in. Does the order of addition matter?
No.
No, so now we just kind of need to take the other important information from it and fill it each in a blank. So what other important information do we have?
25.
25 and 1275. Do we see how that was not a lot of work? Once we knew where total was supposed to go, we filled it in. The rest is addition, so it doesn't matter where we put it. Okay, now we are going to assign the variable to what is happening per item. Anything happening per item gets a variable. Is $216.25 happening per shirt? No. Is $25 happening per shirt? No. Is $12.75 happening per shirt?
Yes.
Yes. So it gets the variable. I'm not just randomly making up an equation. I'm doing every single piece for a reason. Now we should agree, does this look like something we can solve? Yep, so let's solve it. Subtract 25 from each side. One, 2, 5, 1. 191.25. And then we'll undo multiplication with division. I'm taking a guess somewhere around 15, 14, 15, 12, 144, yeah, 14. Oh, this should be an even number. Are we not getting an even number?
I got 15.
Oh wait, hold on, wait.
15?
I did 190.
Yes, that's what. So we circle our answer and we're done? No, because we need to answer the actual question. What does the question ask us?
How many students?
How many members purchase shirts? Oh, I forgot. Our variable was supposed to be S. Sorry, guys. S, S, S. So our final answer will be 15 members purchase shirts. Math club isn't a super popular club, apparently. I had a math club shirt in high school. I'm cool like that.
How many kids signed up for your annual club?
I have a lot.
It's like 100 something.
Yes.
What do you do?
We go on field trips. We're taking animals to the suicide prevention walk. We do kindness month. We do Barktoberfest. Yeah, we also do egg palooza, and there's an egg hunt for the dogs. It's fun. Are we okay there? Nope, let's skip that. Let's go to the second one. I think I'm okay with this. We'll do more practice with these, so don't freak out. Gosh, I don't know why I never fix the spelling on this. I am sorry if you are offended. I really don't like to make worksheets. I've told you this before. I tell myself every year I'm going to fix the spelling. I don't. Probably not going to fix it this time around either. Taekwondo is with an E. Okay, you're all okay? Okay, our second type that we can talk about is a comparison story problem. Okay, and a comparison story problem is exactly what it sounds like. We're comparing two things. Okay, so if I want to compare the cost of one thing to the cost of another thing, does it make sense that I would set those two things equal to each other and have one side and one side? Do we kind of agree with that statement? Guys, this is one of the most usable things in life because this is something I do all the time. Okay, is it worth it for me to get a lower interest rate and do a 15-year mortgage, or to do a higher interest rate and a 30-year mortgage? Or is it worth it to go with this cell phone company or this cell phone company? Is it better if I purchase something that costs more with 0% interest, or something that costs less with 3% interest. Right? These are things you're doing all the time as an adult unless money grows on trees for you and you just like can go out and pick more. Right? I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't want to spend all my money if I don't have to. Okay? So you want to take karate or taekwondo. For karate, you have to pay a $100 enrollment fee and then $40 per class. For taekwondo, you have to pay a $50 enrollment fee and $55 per class. Give an explanation that helps you decide when it is cheaper to take one or the other. Okay, so can we agree on one thing? The enrollment fee is more for karate, but then less for each class. So if we're only going to one class, it's going to cost us $140. Agreed? Okay, for taekwondo, we're going to pay $50 as an enrollment fee and then $55 per class. So if we only go to one class, it's going to be $105. Agree with that statement? Okay, so just starting off, taekwondo is going to be cheaper. But do we agree that because this is happening per class, eventually there will be a point that karate is cheaper? Okay, a very similar idea to cell phone plans nowadays. Is it worth it to pay $800 up front in cash for your phone? Or are you going to divide that fee up over a 2-year contract and maybe pay a slightly higher price? Now, obviously some of it has to do with what money you have at the time, right? But it's sort of weighing those decisions. Okay, when we have a choice between two things, taekwondo or karate, we are always going to set up the format situation 1 equals situation 2. Option 1 versus option 2. Again, anything that's happening per item is going to get a variable. Okay, we're doing okay so far. We know what's going on in the story problem. So let's take a look at this. Very similar. We're going to first start by deciding our format. So we just said our format is situation 1 equals situation 2, but what's option 1 in this situation?
Karate.
Taekwondo. And what's situation 2?
Karate.
It doesn't matter which one you put on each side. Just pick one or the other, right? Aside for karate, aside for taekwondo. So now let's start putting the numbers on the appropriate sides. So does the $100 enrollment fee go to karate or to taekwondo?
Karate.
Karate, so I'm going to put the $100 over here. How about the $40? Where's that go?
Karate.
Karate. How about the $50 enrollment fee?
Taekwondo.
Taekwondo. And how about the $55? Taekwondo. Okay, so now we're here. Right, I filled in my format. Now anything that's happening per item is going to get the variable. So we have to decide what's affecting how much we spend. Is the enrollment fee, I mean, yes, we have to pay it. But is the enrollment fee something that's changing per something we do? Or is the enrollment fee just a one-time constant?
One-time.
One-time constant. What is going to affect the total amount that we spent?
The money per class.
The number we're going to classes, right? So that's going to be our variable. Okay, so is $50 happening per class?
No.
No. Is $55 happening per class?
Yes.
Yes. So it gets a variable. Is $100 happening per class?
No.
No. Is $40 happening per class?
Yes.
Yes. So it gets a variable. Right? I didn't randomly throw this in there. I put it because it's happening per class. Okay, so now we have to make a decision. We need a symbol in between here. What symbol do we want to put in here? Why?
Because you're paying, well, like, you're paying those totals. Like,
Ah, we're paying a total. And what did we just say total told us to do? Add. This is the total we're paying for Taekwondo. And and the total we're paying for karate? Do we see how everything I'm doing has a reason? It's not because I circled the important information, right? It's not. It has a reason. Okay, so we've assigned the variables, we bring our equation, so now what are we going to do with this thing? Solve it. Are these variables on the same side or opposite? So we're going to get them together with the opposite sign. Alright, so since that 40x was positive, I'm subtracting it. Just those reminders from Unit 1. When we subtract it, I'm putting it underneath the same place. Does 3 1/3 answer the question this problem asks? No. It says give an explanation of when one is better. So if I go to at 3 1/3, they're the same. They're equal. If I go to the 4th class, do I want to spend $55 or $40? 40. So if you go to 4 or more classes, which one's going to be cheaper? Karate. If you go to 3 or less classes, what's going to be cheaper? Taekwondo. If you go to 3 1/3 classes, if you could do that, they would be the same. Make sense? Keep these notes.